Well, there's your what I call everyday wines, that for most people fall in the range of $5 to $20, I think is about what the studies show.
Mm-hmm.
I have a few that I like that are around the $10 mark. Sometimes when I'm going fancy, I'll kick it up
You'll
a notch.
step it up.
Right. But then you have the ones that you either have when it's a very special occasion, or if you're a wine collector and you have some of these that have been down in your I say down like everyone has
all wine cellars are down.
right, in your wine rack or what have you. So those are ones that maybe you just want a glass of it, but you don't want to ruin the wine. And specifically for restaurants that have extensive wine lists that contain many of these $100+ bottles of wine.
You can't get it by the glass. You have to commit to the whole bottle.
Exactly. Until now.
Dun, 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 dun. I can't wait
Thank
to
you
hear.
for doing the sound effect. I was going to do it myself.
I can't wait to hear about this mystery device.
Well, Josh Makeower joins us on the line right now. And Josh is the co-founder of a company called Coravin. And you can find them online at coravin.com. They say, wait, don't pull the cork. Welcome to the program, Josh.
Thank you. Thanks for having me on.
Nice to have you here. Explain how this works. It has to do with like a needle that pierces the cork?
Yeah, it's awesomely cool technology. It's the first of its kind. It's really a new category. It's a access device. And what this allows you to do is take a glass of wine from any bottle at any time and leave the wine in the bottle completely untouched by air, which means you can drink it, the next day, the next week, the next month, or years beyond.
Okay, so how does the needle pierce the cork? And then I was reading on your website, the cork reseals itself. How is the cork able to do that?
That's right. So obviously corks are really great at sealing against other things because they seal against a glass bottle. And the way they do that is they're a natural material that has natural elasticity. So the cork, when it's sitting inside of your bottle, is actually compressed, and it's a natural array of fibers that are just actually compressing and keeping a seal. What the Coravin technology has is stealth needle technology. The needle is a very special design, and it's able to penetrate the cork by simply separating the fibers but not coring through it like most needles do. Therefore, it doesn't damage the cork, so it simply creates a passageway for the tube to get access and then exchanges the wine for argon gas, which is completely inert and doesn't interact with the wine. And the wine comes out, and when you're done, you remove the needle, and as you remove it, the cork instantly re-expands to fill that small, tiny area that was once filled by the needle while it was getting access.
And I want to say this specially designed needle, this is able to do this, is made here in the United States. I think that's pretty cool.
That's cool. Yeah, exactly. My friend and co-founder, Greg Lambrecht, is the inventor of the technology, and he and I are medical device inventors and have known each other for 20 years and worked together in various medical fields. And and back in the day, we created needle technologies to be able to access various natural structures for health purposes. And it was many years later that Greg's wife became pregnant, and he loves wine. He's a wine lover, loves to sample his favorite wines, but his wife no longer share the bottle with him, and he became, interested in preservation. And he looked at all the available technologies out there, and just none of them really keep the bottle alive for more than just a couple of days or weeks at most. And so frustrated with that, he invented Coravin, which allows you to just break all paradigms that have ever been seen in the wine industry. It's really revolutionary, first of its kind.
So what are you hearing from people? What kind of feedback are you getting?
People are insanely excited. If you follow Twitter or the web, we were in the Washington Post this past week, New York Times, various wine critics and analysts. Robert Parker early got behind it and got very excited and has a whole blog series, a video series on the technology. It's revolutionary. What it does for restaurants is it allows them to offer their entire wine, their entire wine cellar by the glass. It's unheard of. Usually, when you go into a restaurant, there's very limited selection by the glass. Mm-hmm. Now that whole paradigm has changed. for the consumer, at home, you can have a glass whenever you want. You don't have to worry about spoiling the bottle. If your spouse or partner wants something else, you can have a glass of red. They can have a glass of white, and really complete access to the wines. And
you don't feel
for the industry.
Don't feel you don't feel pressured to. Well, I opened it and I should just go ahead and polish it off, and you kind of end up drinking a little more than you really intend.
Exactly. That pressure is no longer there. And, for the industry, I mean, when we walk into wine shops, we look at all these pretty labels and all these prices, and how do we know? How do we know? And we hear from the shop owner, hey, this is this way and this is that way. But I think we all know that what really matters most is what does it taste for us? What does it taste like for us? And I think we also know that there's some great values out there, great tasting wines that you've never heard of, that now you'll be able to taste in the store as more and more wine shops allow consumers to make their selection based on taste rather than price and label.
And for some of us, a $20 or $30 bottle of wine is, sort of extravagant. And this works just as well with a bottle of that nature.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, the very high-end wines, older wines, it works great on. It won't work on screw caps. It won't work on artificial corks.
Right.
Oh, right. Good point. And there's more and more of those.
Yes, exactly. So that's for the future. At the present time, it's only really natural corks or natural technical corks that this is designed for. So you want to sort of check it out, and obviously, if you use the technology and it leaks afterwards, you've sort of validated that cork is probably not the right type of cork. But basically, most corks in the United States, a majority worldwide, are still natural corks. So this really works with a large number.
Josh, can you explain argon gas for us a little bit? Our audio guy was just asking me here if by adding this gas to that, does that aerate the wine? And it's quite the opposite, right?
Exactly. Argon is a naturally occurring gas. We breathe it in every day. It's 2% of natural air. And it's a noble gas, which means it doesn't react with anything. And it's actually used quite commonly in food production and actually in the wine business as well, because it's completely non-reactive. It's like a complete perfect blanket over wine, protecting it. And so the great thing about argon gas is it's totally safe and part of the natural atmosphere, and we've just concentrated it to preserve wine.
All right. Well, they're not cheap, $2.99, but I guess if you're opening several $100 bottles of wine, it's
you can make that investment.
Worthy investment, right? Coravin.com, Coravin.com. Josh Makeower, thanks for joining us, and best of luck with this new device.
Absolutely, my pleasure. I look forward to it.
All righty. Patty Piper, and that does it for us for another show. You can watch it online again at eatdrinkexplore.com. Make it a great day, everyone.